In a small town, a story starts. A man and his wife have been happy together for 13 years. But then, something unexpected happens that could change everything. The wife makes a big mistake while she's away with friends. This mistake is a secret at first, but secrets have a way of coming out. Now, the man is faced with a tough choice about his marriage and his family. This story isn't just about what went wrong. It's about trust, saying sorry, and trying to fix things. We're going to see if the man and his wife can find their way back to each other, or if some mistakes are too big to forgive. This journey will show us the real tests of love and forgiveness. Let's find out what happens. I, 39 male, and my wife, 33 female, have been together for 13 years. She recently went away on a girls' trip. I was not worried at all. I have never had a reason to distrust her. She has never done anything to give me a cause for concern, and it's not like she was even going abroad. She was going to Butlins, half an hour away. She went with her sister and a few other girls. She called me up this morning, and I didn't expect anything other than her checking in. She's only been away one night of a 3-night trip. When I answered, she was crying and incoherent. When I finally calmed her down, she told me she had slept with someone else the night before. Supposedly, she met a guy whom she approached, they flirted a little and danced together, and she thought that was as far as it would go. But he supposedly just charmed her into a kiss, which turned into making out. These actions turned to her, asking him to walk her back to her hotel, which turned into them having sex. She says nothing was amiss, he wasn't pushy or weird, and they actually had sex multiple times. She would say they need to stop, and he would stop immediately, and then after a few minutes, she'd want him to carry on, and he would. And he supposedly never even finished because of the stop and start. This supposedly went on for 3 hours, and she eventually said, "Stop for good," and asked him to leave, and he did. The guy is supposedly 10 years younger than her. She said she lied and told him she was going through a divorce. She says she doesn't know what came over her, and she just wanted to see if she still had it, but got carried away. 14 years, married for 10, and we have a 7-year-old daughter. I want to leave her. She's begging me not to, offering marriage counseling, never going out again, never drinking again, etc. I've always been a one-chance sort of guy. I just told her to go fuck herself and have been ignoring her since about 10 a.m. Now her friends and sister are calling me too. They apparently had no idea she'd even gone home with him. They saw them talking but thought nothing of it. I just want them all to leave me alone. I told my mum about it, and she said I should think of my family. That my wife seems genuinely remorseful and didn't try and hide anything and came clean straight away. That it's not like she had an affair. Am I wrong for not even considering forgiving her? Update. So my wife came home tonight, after giving me the day to cool off. I asked to see the guy. I don't know why. Maybe I'm a sucker for punishment. And of course, he looks like a superhero, so that's great. For the record, my wife is beautiful. She has perfect teeth, works out regularly, etc. I am not ugly, but I am just a typical English guy. I am not overweight, but could probably lose a few pounds, a bit of a dad's body, etc. I always felt so lucky to be with her. She was an amazing partner, an amazing mother, funny, intelligent, etc. I asked her to lay out what happened to me in more detail. I wanted to catch any lies or changes in the story and test her consistency. She basically says she was at the bar and the guy was standing next to her. They glanced at each other and she said, "Where did you come from?" He asked what she meant, and she replied he was the first handsome man she'd seen. And that's how the conversation got started. As for her telling him she was divorcing, that happened when he glanced down, noticed her ring, and asked her about it. Apparently, once she said that, he went on to say, "Not like I give a fuck either way." I asked if she thought he could have slipped her anything. She says it's impossible, because they only did shots together. I asked if she took any drugs, and she admitted to doing coke with her friends. This isn't all that surprising if you're from the UK, and you're into drinking culture. It's pretty standard. A few of you seem to be American, so let me explain what exactly a Butlins is. It's basically a holiday resort, usually for families, but they sometimes host adult exclusive weekends where it's a pretty big party place. It's cheap and grimy and can be a lot of fun. People dress up, there's live music, multiple venues, and late-night entertainment, etc. As for people saying she got caught by her friends, she actually didn't. She disappeared with the guy and went home with him. She texted her friends she was tired and wanted to go to sleep. They are at the resort, and the hotel is like a 3-minute walk, so they all just said to text when she was safe in her room. She was sharing a room with her sister. Her sister was in their other friend's room, drinking and doing coke because they thought she was sleeping. She told the guy to leave at around 6 a.m. because she thought her sister might be coming back soon, as that's when the party usually winds down. I asked her how many times she had sex with the guy, and she said 4 or 5, lasting between 5 to 10 minutes each time. Apparently, even after cheating, she never thought she'd sleep with the guy. She says she just wanted to give him oral, so she did that, but the guy said he could only finish through sex. She didn't believe him until 20 minutes later he still wasn't done, so she gave up and climbed on top of him. But then, after about 5 minutes, she thought, what the fuck am I doing, and got off him. Then laid there and cuddled him and drank more, and then 10 minutes later they would be touching each other again. This repeated 4 or 5 times. She says that she kept thinking it was wrong, but then would think it's too late now anyway, so might as well carry on and basically go through a loop of that. I asked her why she felt the need to see if she still had it. She says since she hit 30, she's been self-conscious of her aging. That when she spots a new wrinkle or something, it drives her to tears. She said that chatting to the guy made her feel young again, and she latched onto that. Also, apparently the guy was there with a girl, who my wife said looked like a younger version of herself. The guy pointed her out to my wife and said that girl over there watching us has a crush on me, and laughed about it. After he had been talking to my wife for like 30 minutes, the girl had enough. She walked over and kicked the table, spilling the guy's drink, and then stormed off. She says that the guy picking her over a younger woman drove her ego crazy, and that was when she decided to kiss him. I asked her why she even told me. She said that when she woke up, she saw I'd sent a selfie of me and our daughter eating pizza together, and it sent her into a nervous breakdown. That she was wailing and sobbing so loud it woke up her sister, and that's when she confessed. Her sister told her she was insane for what she did. She wasn't very comforting, and then left the room mad at her, which made it worse, and that's when she called me. I have asked her to leave the house for a few days. She is staying at her mother's house while I decide what I want to do. She begged me not to make her leave, but she did when I said it was the least she could do, after blowing up our entire lives over wrinkles and making her sad. As for my mother, she still thinks I should forgive her. For context, my dad died about a year ago, and my wife has really been a rock for my mum. I cannot see her as much as I would like, due to my work. But my wife is a self-employed nail tech and has a lot of free time. She uses it to spend with my mum, to keep her company, do her hair, and have girly days to try and make sure she doesn't get lonely. No, I don't think my mum is a cheater or whatever, and she is very angry at my wife. But she loves her, and she just wants everything to be okay. My daughter has no idea what is happening. She was already asleep when my wife came and went again. She will just think mummy is still on holiday. I still have no idea what I'm going to do. Honestly, I'm still reeling. This is where this story comes to an end. The official poster who posted all of this has not provided any update regarding his situation. His account is suspended, and the reason for that is unknown. If he ever comes up to any conclusion, or his decision, maybe he will post on an alternative account. I will keep you updated on this story if there will be any more updates in the future. If you haven't subscribed already, please make sure to do so.